Yes. Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a beautiful Monday afternoon, November the 24th, 2025. Thank you all for watching right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down below in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below, on this very channel, and my other channels down below. Show your love and support for them. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but leave these stupid comments. You know where you're going. To that shadow realm where Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul. And if you don't like it, tough shit. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Excuse me, the next one. Because if you miss anything, well, you're pretty much SOL. You know what that means. If you don't know what it means, for the love of God, look it up. That's pretty much it. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all the good stuff, and that's it. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Apple juice this time. I just feel like having apple juice. I just had breakfast a little while ago. So, well, not breakfast, like, late breakfast, whatever. But I just felt like drinking some apple juice. Okay? Apple juice. You think it's beer? No, it's not beer. Morons. But I digress. Because you can't tell if it's beer or not. Like, if I had Coke or Pepsi in there, you can't tell there's alcohol in it. I think you need your eyes checked. Just saying. But that's all. That's pretty much it. But in any case, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Sit back, relax, put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. Well, too bad. And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday to you. Final week of November. It's Thanksgiving week. We got Monday Night Raw. The final live show for the WWE this week, because NXT's taped tomorrow. SmackDown's taped on Friday. And then we got the Survivor Series live from Petco Park in San Diego, California this Saturday night. That's going to be exciting. So, tonight's going to be a big show. Not the big show, not Paul White, but a big show. We got Brock Lesnar on the show, along with our Tribal Chief. Put up your fucking ones and acknowledge the man that's better than you, and you know it, and that's Roman fucking Reigns. He will open the show tonight to just talk to us, because it's Roman. So he's going to talk to us for about 60 minutes. No, I'm kidding. Well, there was a rumor that him and the Usos were going to have, like, multiple segments in the first hour of the show. Oh, jeez. There's nothing wrong with that. Put everything off to the side, just have Roman for 2 hours, that's great. So we're kind of getting back to the Bloodline days, where Roman and the Usos and Solo and Sammy were just, and Paul Heyman at times, would just go 6-7 segments in the first hour or two. And then we just have minuscule 3-minute garbage fest matches. But we got that. But we got the second round of the John Cena tournament tonight. We got Carmelo Hayes is in action. I forget who he's facing. I think it's Walter. I think it's Walter or Solo. One of them. So let's see what happens with that. Pentagon is in action in the tournament. Forget who he's facing. I forgot the brackets myself, so that's great. We got those two matches. We got Brock in the house. We got Roman in the house. Probably the Vision in the house. We got that men's advantage match tonight. I don't know who's going to be representing that, but I think the Vision will probably get the advantage. That's how I feel. I know, I like Roman's team to get the advantage, but Punk should be in the house. AJ Lee should be in the house. Becky Lynch should be in the house. Everybody in the house in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma tonight for your 2+ hour Cure for Insomnia Monday Night Raw. And probably talk about that much later tonight, because we got the Niners and the Carolina Panthers in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium tonight on Monday Night Football. So I'm not even watching Raw tonight, so I'm watching the Niners game. I might flip back and forth with the Niner game and Netflix, so we'll see what happens with that. But my main concern is the Niners, not so much wrestling tonight. So, but we'll talk about Raw later tonight. But that's that. Hope everybody's having a great Monday, and hope you have a great rest of your week. A great Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday, and then Black Friday. Be careful on Black Friday, and then have a great end to November as we start the great month of December, the greatest month in the world, the greatest people in the world that celebrate birthdays. That's coming up next Monday. Christmas is coming up in pretty much a month from now. And then the end of the year, we kick this year out and we usher in 2026. And hopefully it'll be a better year for some of us and a greater year for people who had a great year this year. And that's all that. And a whole bag of chips. We move on with that. And that's it. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for subscribing. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. We're about 11, as of this video, 11 away. I think we'll get there way before the end of the year. We're going to get over 1,000 on our road to 1,100 and probably into next year. Maybe we'll get to 1,250. I doubt we'll get to 1,500 by the end of this time next year, but you never know. But thank you all for subscribing to the channel. 10 years as of today. I'm not making a big celebration about it. I mean, 10 years is 10 years of this channel. But, 16 years on this garbage festival website, but 10 years on this channel. So, and yeah, I know people are going to 10 years, you don't even have 1,000 subscribers in 10 years, man. I would have had almost 1,500 if the YouTube purge from a few years ago didn't happen. But, I take each day as it comes, and I take each subscriber as it comes, whether it be a fake as fuck subscriber, or an actual subscriber that loves my content and all that shit. But you love it anyway, whether you like me or hate me. I really, don't care. I mean, I do care for the people that love my channel. For the people that hate my channel, I could care less what you think. But you'll still watch because, you'd like to inflate your view count. Because you get off on my videos. Because anybody else, you don't get much views on. But, it is what it is. My shorts do way more than your fucking live stream, so. And then I know you're going to come back like, oh, your reviews only get like 50, 60, maybe 100 views. I'm like, who gives a fuck? In reality, I'm better than you in many ways, so. That's all I got to say about that, so let me move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, enough about that bull funky. That's bullshit for you people that don't know what the fuck it means. Next time, look it up. That's why we have Google. But in any case, on this Monday afternoon, before we get to Monday Night Raw and the Niners tonight, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to Saturday night, and let's talk about AEW Full Gear 2025, and here's your official late and out-of-date review for Full Gear 2025 from the great company of AEW Wrestling. We got that. Alright, so Full Gear emanated from The Rock. That's The Rock, not The Rock Twain or Rocky Balboa, but The Rock. In Newark, New Jersey, the Prudential Center, and our long commentary team of Man Behind the Mask, Excalibur, my good buddy Tony Baloney Schiavone, or for people that love Jericho, Tony Schiavone, the man from England, the greatest man that is from England. There's others, but he's a good man too. Nigel McGuinness, me love, and Brian Fagelson, commentators, and Danielson lies to his teeth, son. Yes! And we get that. Alright, so we're going to get to the kickoff show. Not going to go through everything, because the kickoff show I don't watch anyway. Alright, so we started off with a fatal four-way match for $200,000 of Tony Khan's cocaine money. Yay! So we had the Bang Bang Gang of Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn. Guns up, ladies and gentlemen. They take on Big Cass and the Bad Apple Brian Keith, along with the so-called acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. No scissoring, ladies, not yet. Until they actually reunite, then we can scissor me, mommy ass. And then also we have my favorite tag team in AEW, the Outrunners. Turbo Floyd and Truth Madden, who still follow me on Instagram and X, among other wrestlers who follow me because they love me. And it's true. Rosemary, who's been following me since day one. How you doing, Rosemary? How you doing, baby? Love you too. Anyway, moving on. Also, Kyrie, Io, and Asuka have been following me religiously now. They can't get enough of me. Mina too. That's my 4 amazingly hot Asian wives. Oh, and for some reason, Mayu Iwatani's been following me. Nothing wrong with Mayu, tomato. The New Japan Women's Champion's been following me. I wonder why. I digress. But anyway, these guys fought for $200,000. And your winners are... Ladies and gentlemen, your winners are... the Bang Bang Gang. They get the win after Bowens. Not sure if him and Max want to scissor each other. Not like that, but you know, kind of get the Acclaims to a full reunion. But Bowens is still not sure if he can trust Max Caster. And then Big Cass interrupts. And Bowens strikes him down, but then Juice Robinson with a brute roll-up on Anthony Bowens. 1, 2, 3, they win $200,000! Yay! Well, $100,000 each, which they can put away and buy something nice for their lady, or for themselves, maybe. I don't know. We know Juice Robinson probably used that money to buy Tony Storm a whole bunch of underwear or whatever. Who knows what they did with that money? Or with themselves. You know, Tony Storm's labia is probably broken again. Then again, maybe they had a threesome with Mina, you know. Or not, because Mina was in my bedroom that night, but I digress. Moving on with that. Alright, match number 2 on the kickoff show. We had Roppongi Vice of Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, they say. They take on Big Boom AJ, the idiot from the Costco guys, along with QT Marshall Knott. Together they are Boom and Doom. Don Callis at ringside on commentary. So he's his guys are representing the Don Callis family. And the Big Slow made his return. Paul White at ringside. And we get to the end. That stupid fucking kid, Big Justice, gets in the ring. And Rocky Romero grabbed him, and then the kid kicked Rocky Romero in his huevos, his balls. Then he hits a combo stunner into a really sloppy diamond cutter, and it was like, yeah, diamond cutter! And the freaking comments like, diamond cutter! I'm like, sloppy diamond cutter! This kid does not even know how to do a proper ghillie cutter correctly. Freaking little twerp, fat twerp. I give him a ghillie cutter. So, Big Justice, you want to fight so bad? Bang! I'll show you what a real ghillie cutter is. You think you know so much about the wrestling business? You want to become a wrestler? I'll take you to school, kid! Fuck you, and fuck your dad! Saying that shit about my tribal chief. Fuck you, you're not better than him. You never will be. Kiss my ass. Match sucked. We move on. Alright, then we get to the third match on the pre-show. For the CMLL Trios titles, we had the Don Callis family of, if they can coexist, Takeshita, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, along with the Unified Champion from AEW, Okada. They team up with Ichihiro to take on El Sky of Mystico, that's, Sin Cara, Neon, or Neon, the man known as Neon, and Máscara Dorada ese. Pretty decent match. Takeshita and Okada kept going back and forth. They, flipping each other off. Blah, 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 blah. Takeshita throws a raging fire, but Okada's like, no, 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 no. You ain't doing that. Then they start getting in a shoving match. And then Takeshita gets hit with a Rainmaker. Oops. And then Máscara Dorada and Neon come back in to take a Takeshita down. Then they set up stereo salts to the floor. And then Mystico hits a Poison Rana on Hikeshiro. Then Namistica gets the win to retain the CMLL Trios titles. I thought there would be a title change. Obviously not. Now, what's going to happen tonight on Thursday night with the start of the Continental Classic for the unified title, I could probably see Takeshita and Okada in the finals of that shit, and Takeshita wins it, so he gets 4 belts, possibly 5 belts, because he has a match at Wrestle Kingdom against Tsuji for the global title. Man, Takeshita will start 2026 on a roll. On a bigger roll than he is right now. He's Wrestler of the Year, in my eyes. For the men. You would think I would say Roman, but Roman's had good matches, but, Takeshita's just been on a hot streak this year. Winning the G1, winning the IWGP title from Zack Sabre Jr., going, big feud with Okada coming up at Wrestle Dream. And then he's got, right after that, he's going to Japan to defend the IWGP belt against Tsuji and possibly win the global title. So like I said, he could possibly start 2026 with 5 belts. So it'll be not even halfway to Mercedes Moné's 13 belts. Oh, we'll get to that bitch later. But yeah. So El Sky retains the CMLL Trios titles, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we get to the final match on the pre-show. Let me just get to it. Wait, there was 3 matches? Oh yeah, we had Hook and Eddie Kingston against the Workhorse, Anthony Henry and G.D. Drake. And Hook and Eddie won in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes! Yeah, they won in, actually under, just about 2 minutes. So, but that's that. But there's more to Hook and Eddie Kingston a little bit later on in the review. We'll talk about the man himself. The man who eats a lot of Doritos more than Mikey Whipwreck and Mick Foley do. That's Hook! No, not now. You stay there. Thank you. Alright, so we get that. Alright, then we start up with the main show. And we start up with the bastard Pac. Take it on. Hi guys, it's me, Darby. I just want you to know that my back was all bandaged up, my arm was all bandaged up because I got burned alive. But I did it for you guys, because I love you guys, I love violence. I live in a car in Seattle. I weigh 150 pounds. I'm so fucking emo, guys. That guy's nuts. Anyway, Pac did what he did, man. He basically took Darby out of his element. Took him to school in an old school wrestling match. Went after the bandages, started like grinding the burns in his arm. Eee. But Darby comes back, but then, as you would suspect, the Death Riders come out. William Yuta, especially, that fucking idiot that fears himself. He came out and caused a distraction with the baseball bat, and then Pac, boom, smashed Darby right in the face with the baseball bat. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. A shocking victory as Pac beats Darby in a one-on-one match, even though we got chicanery at the end. But still, I had Darby to win, but I didn't do that great in my predictions. I think I went 5-4. Can't go 100% all the time, but we had... excuse me. We had that. Alright, so, yeah, so Pac gets the win, and that's it. And then after the match, basically, I don't think anything happened at the end of the match, but it is what it is. So, the Death Riders, you know, they started off hot, and then down they went because, we get to Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly auto parts in a no DQ match. Both men busted wide open using tables. They used a fork. I mean, they were bleeding like stuffed pigs. But in the end, Kyle O'Reilly once again makes Moxley tap out. And I was like, what? Wow. They're really going with that. Moxley's probably going to get kicked out of the Death Riders storyline pretty soon. Because he did a promo after the event saying, oh, you know, this is just a regular season. You're in the playoffs now. I'm like, oh, what? But you know, and notice if you watch that promo on the AEW YouTube page, all the members of the Death Riders, Claudio, Danny Garcia, Yuta, Marina Shafir, ain't even Pac, were giving him the side eye. So we'll see what happens with that. I could bet you that Mox might be in the Continental Classic. I wouldn't be surprised. And he loses. And then I think at World's End, they'll probably kick him out. So. And then everybody's like, oh, Mox is going to get out. He's going to go back to WWE. Wrong! Because he has a contract till 2027. He's not going back anytime soon. So. Dean Ambrose ain't coming back to WWE at the Royal Rumble. Don't even give me that shit. We have that. Okay. My notes have, froze. I hate this garbage thing, but anyway. FTR is the new tag team champions as they beat, Brodito. So they're, I think, 3-time AEW tag team champions. So we'll probably hear from them on Wednesday night, what they're going to be doing. With their tag team titles. What else? Rick O'Shit won the Casino Gauntlet by pinning Kevin Knight, so he's the inaugural national champion. I'm not too happy about that. I was hoping to be Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin or somebody else besides Rick O'Shit. That pissed me off. We had the Bucks and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson teaming up with Josh Alexander to take on Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega back for $1 million. It was a good match, but in the end, the Bucks turn on Josh Alexander and the Don Callis family, and Jurassic Express and Kenny win the match. They get $1 million. Well, not each, but they get $333,000. And then after the match, the Bucks come up to Kenny, and basically they iron out their differences, and the Elite is temporarily back. The Bucks make up with Kenny, so I didn't see anything with the Bucks on the BTE channel. I don't know if they did a video. I haven't seen it, but there probably will be something with the Bucks and maybe Kenny and Brandon Cutler for BTE this week, if there is one. But I think since it's Thanksgiving week, I doubt they'll do one. There'll probably be one after that, but we have that. And we move on. Alright, so the Bucks and Kenny are reunited. We'll see what happens on Wednesday night Dynamite or Collision this week with the reunited, with the so-called, we'll call them reunited, Elite of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And you love to see it. That's that. Alright, that Fatal 4-Way women's match where the winners picked the stipulation for the semifinals in the women's tag team tournament. We had the Sisters of Sin, we had the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue, and my girl Julia Hart taking on the timeless love bombs of timeless Tony Storm Bosom and my girl Mina Shirakawa, the Babes of Wrath. That's Harley, Cameron, and Willow Nightingale, the resident from go boom, and Megan Bayne of Megasis and Marina Shafir. Good match. We're getting to the end, and Marina had Mina in Mother's Milk, and like we saw at Blood and Guts, where everybody was held back Tony Storm, so she had to surrender. This time, Tony broke away, was able to save Mina, and in the end, Tony and Mina get the win, and they will pick the stipulation on Dynamite. They did a promo after the show saying, well, you're just going to have to find out on Wednesday. And then they called Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne cock sluts. I like that. That was funny. So, let's see what the minds of Tony Storm and Mina have for Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir on Wednesday Night Dynamite in the semifinals of the women's tag team tournament. I think the finals are going to be at either Winter's Coming or World's End. So we'll see what happens with that. And Megan Bayne, right after the pay-per-view, she went to Japan to fight in the Stardom Tag League. And her partner are 5-0. Can you say they probably will win? Maybe. I don't know. But Megan is like, she goes to Japan, does her match or two, comes back to Dynamite, then she goes back to Japan. She got more freaking flyer miles than me. Jeez. Not that I fly a lot, but, you know. If I did, you know. But, man, she is racking up freaking flyer miles. Crazy. Alright, we get that. Like I mentioned, FTR won the tag titles from Brodito after the Shadow Machine, so they get the belts back. Good match. Ricochet is the new national champion by beating Kevin Knight. Orange Cassidy was in the match. Hurt Syndicate. Mark Davis, Claudio Castagnoli was in the match. Danny Garcia, Matt Maynard. Pretty much everybody canceled each other out. It was down to Ricochet and Kevin Knight, and Ricochet hits the spinning gun and gets the win in under 23 minutes. So he's the inaugural national champion. Now he has to boast on Dynamite, and I could care less. Kyle O'Reilly made Jon Moxley tap in a little over 19 minutes with the ankle lock with a chain. Like I said, lots of blood in that match with a fork and just disgusting. And then after the match, Moxley beats down on Kyle's arm. Sport. But kind of gives him a look of respect. And I think that kind of pissed off the Death Riders. That's probably why they gave him a side look in the after promo on the YouTube page. So we got that. Alright, for the TNT title, Kyle Fletcher and the Funky Chicken himself, Mark Briscoe. Match number 6. And if Mark Briscoe loses, he has to join the Don Callis family. No disqualification. More blood. You want blood? You got it. They went through the tables. They went through ladders, chairs. Oh my! But in the end, we got tax as well. It felt like we got the TNT match from Wrestle Dream all over again. But, you know, we added a screwdriver. Why not? And a ladder or two. But in the end, a brainbuster on the tax. Ow! Gives Fletcher a near fall. Then he turns the screwdriver upside down in the turnbuckle. Damn. A super brainbuster onto the pointed up screwdriver. Yeesh. That was teased. Thankfully that didn't happen because Mark would have got... Boom. Jeez. They could have killed Mark. Shit. But Mark, they stops that, thankfully. Goes with a cutthroat driver, gets broken up with a stab to the head. Ow. And a running stab sets up the Brain Buster. Gives Fletcher another near fall. They go up top. Mark bangs a Laser's Egg Chico a toss version through a barbed wire table. Oh yeah, barbed wire. Gotta love that. Basically, Fletcher was knocked out. Mark picks him up. Boom! Jay Driller. 1, 2, 3. We have a new TNT champion, Mark Briscoe. They did it. I still think we're going to get one more match. They're going 7. Like Boston and the Mets in 86. We're doing it one more time, either at World's End or maybe at when it was coming, maybe the New York shows. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But congrats to Mark. He gets his own custom-made belt given to him by Orange Cassidy and the Conglomeration, so he has his own Conglomeration TNT title. Hopefully he holds it for a while, but then again, we don't know. And that's that. And like I said before, Jurassic Express and Kenny get $1 million. They win the match after, actually, the Bucks and Josh got the win. I'm sorry about that. I read my notes wrong. A fruit roll-up gives Jack Perry a near fall, but then the Bucks hit Jack Perry with a BTE trigger. 1, 2, 3, they get $333 million. No, $333,000 each, because you add that up, it's $1 million and 99 cents. So they get the win, and then afterwards, they pick up Kenny and they hug it out. After Don Callis wants them to beat up Kenny, that ain't gonna fly with the Bucks. So they have a big old hug with Kenny, and then Kenny has to be helped to the back, collapses on a ramp. So Don Callis' family, even though they lost the TNT title and still having problems with Okada to catch they still win $333,000. The Bucks get some money back for once. Yay! But is Nick Jackson going to go to the casino again and waste it all? Probably. He probably has a lot of debt to pay, too. After all, getting rid of all those shoes and everything. Who knows? But we got that. Alright, then we go to the AEW Women's title. Mercedes Moné, the CEO, 13 belts. Whore Moné takes on Chris Cakelander. Great entrance, by the way, with a rocket ship coming down. Well, the fireworks into this makeshift rocket. She comes out and does a flip. And I was like, please don't make Mercedes win. Please, please, please. There was lots of near falls, but in the end, thank the Lord, Chris Cakelander retains the AEW Women's title after sending they fight over a tombstone, and Statlander sends Mercedes into the corner. Muscles are up into Saturday Night Fever. 1, 2, 3. She retains the title in 23 minutes. So, no number 14 for you, bitch. Bye-bye. You can't beat Cakelander. Stop it. But we'll probably hear her moaning, bitch, and moan, and bitch, and moan on Dynamite this Wednesday. So, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then Don Callis just talked to the family about the Continental Classic. Takeshita says, I'm in. And Kyle Fletcher's in as well, because he's pissed, because he wants the belt. Well, and Okada's in, because he has to defend that shit. So, we got that. Alright, then we get the cage coming down. We have the main event, ladies and gentlemen, for the AEW World title. Hangman and Adam Page about to do some cowboy shit. He takes on Samoa Joe. Both men were busted wide open. This match was crazy as shit. Will Hobbs comes back, whips off the lock, comes in and beats the fuck out of the Hangman. Eddie Kingston cuts him off, but the referee gets crushed against the cage. Ow. Deadeye for no count. Hobbs comes out. All that stuff. And then Hook comes out and kind of helps out, but then he grabs the AEW World title and he does the heinous act. Boom! Knocks Hangman in the face. And then Joe just covers him. 1, 2, 3 of a new AEW World Champ. Samoa Joe, 2-time heavyweight champion. Wasn't really happy about that, but we get that. So Joe gets the win. And then members of his dojo come out. And he starts beating up on Adam Page a little bit more. Then the lights go out. Sabu! No, Sabu doesn't come out. But the lights go out. And we see a burning house. You know what I mean? One man And then we see, we get a silhouette of Prince Nana, my good buddy. Prince Nana's back. And he's like, whose house? Well, we all know whose house it is. Swerve! Swerve's back with a remix theme. He comes out, beats the fuck out of the dojo guys, gives one guy the house call, and Joe completely leaves. So it looks like we're going back all the way back to Dynasty from this year. Well, I think last year or this year when Swerve won the belt from Joe. So kind of running that back like 7-8 months later. So that probably is your main event for World's End, Joe versus Swerve for the AEW World title. I think Swerve will get it back. Maybe do another match with Hangman. I hope not. Then we gotta wait for Will Ospreay to come back. Maybe they do something in 2026. We'll see what happens with that. That's it. Alright guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Full Gear, I gave 7 out of 10 stars. Wasn't that bad. Pretty mid, and that's it. Alright. Alright guys, I am out of here. I gotta run to the doctor, so I'll see you guys later tonight for Monday Night Raw. But until next time, peace, motherfuckers.